I ain't even mean to go live, bro, but I guess I'm gonna just go live now. I ain't go live in a couple days. I mean, like 12 days, bro. Really didn't feel like it. I, what's up, viewer? I hit the button by accident, so I guess we live. I did not mean to go live, bro. Let me just set y'all up on this real quick. I'm only gonna be live for a short period of time. So I guess that was the universe. I guess that was the universe, man. I guess that was the universe making me go live. Let me know if the lighting looks bad. Probably do it like this a little bit, you know? Yeah, man. Man, so basically, hold on. We are already 3 minutes in. I know this didn't work in the video earlier. And so, let's get into this video. I'm calling this video something that I created, something I created that is very important, and it's called Foreplay. Foreplay, Fore, B4, letter B, number four. Foreplay with a four. So it looks cool when you see it on paper, but my whole thing is I've created this system where foreplay is what you gonna call it? Hold on. Foreplay is automatic. Hold on. And we're gonna talk about that real quick. The triangle is emotional foreplay, environmental, envir, and mental. Hold on. Let's see if I um, get this light going real quick. I ain't used it in a little minute. I think it's broken. I ain't gonna lie. Where everybody at in this motherfucker, man? Let's get to it, man. I ain't gonna be live. I ain't gonna be on this live forever. They better start recommending my shit. You know what I'm saying? got me out here. I don't really like going live too frequently. You know? Where everybody at, bro? Shit's too annoying. See, this light broke. I think. Hold on. Yeah. So anyway, the foreplay system is pretty simple. I noticed that when I'm outside and I am communicating with these women and dealing with these women, I see certain patterns. And one of the biggest patterns, what's up, viewer? One of the biggest patterns is not only my, but other men's willingness to go indirect, right? And the word indirect is always being slandered and just kind of like suffocated. And even when I talk to women in public, I notice that they have a inquiring of like, why can't guys just be honest about what they want, blah blah blah. And I tell women, I be like, well, certain ones I told, like, yo, like, if I just walked up to you and told you I wanted to smash you, that'd be the stupidest thing that I could do. And I tell them that because I understand that it could also work as far as being honest and saying something like that. Being very bold and very direct could be very attractive. But it's one of those things that's like playing cards, right? You don't show, if you're playing cards and I show you my hand of cards, what my intentions are, what I want to do, which is a lie because you really don't know what you want to do with that woman until you bond or create a relationship where you know that person enough to know, like, okay, I don't just want to smash you, like, I want to really get to know you, I want to do more. You can't know that on the first approach. You can only know that later on. So first of all, let's get that out the way. So when women tell you to let me know you want to smash me, they're telling you to tell them a lie. But you got to think about what woman nature is, that of that. They don't. Women and men are totally different. I'm just here to shine a light on the differences, right? A man is a truthful creature in terms of, I guess, integrity. Like, I'm not saying women don't have any of it, but I'm saying like they don't really. They can get away without. But like as men, again, here's the thing. I say that to say, like, when you approaching a lot of women, say 15, say 14, say 12, like say 12 women a day, say you're approaching 4 women a day, right? You're gonna notice that they all are different. And not only are all of them different, but each conversation that you have with anybody is going to look very unique. Like even this live right here, like this is um, it's own thing. So like that's why going live could feel very weird at first because you're getting back used to the nature of lives and streams and when you just post a video, you just post it and you go about your day. You go live, you have this a different feeling associated with it. Now let me jump back to the topic because I'm kind of going. So every conversation is different. Every woman is different, and it's all just unique. That don't make a woman bad. It don't make a woman good, right? But instead, it puts each woman in a unpredictable territory if you don't have game women will be very hard to figure out, very oblique, very gray area. And that's vice versa, right? If a woman doesn't have any ism, she gonna look at a guy like me or a guy like anybody else, and they're gonna say, I really don't understand this nigga. That is what is a consequence of not dealing with a lot of people. I literally had a conversation with a chick earlier, and the conversation was just so quick and grand, but it was like we went deep very fast because she was an open air, and I just felt like talking, which I know is one of my things I say, like cut conversation short, but for some reason I felt like talking. And a lot of women are introverts, just like a lot of guys are introverts. And that's what our conversation kind of went towards, because I can approach almost anybody on the street nowadays and just have a and spark up a convo, and it could just go hours, given the right person. Because see, I like to talk. So if a person is very willing to, like, if that person is even slightly introverted, I'll start to, damn near gossip, or whatever y'all think gossip is, or just I'll start to damn near, and then I have to stop myself because I'm like, yo, you talking too much, you saying too much, and I noticed as a pattern when you meet strangers, especially women on the street, and then you start talking, and then you got this long drawn out 30 minute to almost an hour conversation. People tend to like feel like, yo, this person might not be as cool as they think they are, or as you, whatever the case. I don't know what it is about that, but you want to say less. It's just one of those conversation rule book things that you want to know. It's power in just saying less. It just is. I don't know why. I don't know. You would think, right, logically, that if I talk more, that I'm giving a person more of a reason or incentive or motivation to fuck with me, or you'll think like if you say more, that you have more chances to hit attraction. But it's like that's not how this shit works. Attraction is very specific. It's like come into the interaction, know what you want to say, know what you're not willing to say, and then you have this fine line where you might could say a couple bullshit words, but that's what it is. It's like you could say at least, I would say per meetup or first approach, especially, and then the date, you can only say about like 4 to 5 things that aren't attractive. Like you could probably say a couple things, like any conversations that lean towards trauma, any conversations that lean towards your living conditions. If you're not already having a like if you don't have money, like it's you gotta you don't lie to the woman, but you don't tell her that you don't have money, because remember that's one of your, what I would like to call, vital um, attraction uh, pillars. Like being able to lead and hunt and take care of things. That's one of your vital. That's like telling a woman you have no heart. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're dead to me. If you have no heart, right? And I promise you, women will, they will carry out that activity on you, like, man, act like they ain't never meet you. They liked you at a, they liked you at a 10 or a 9, and then when you said you live with your mom, or you have family issues, or even if you insinuated some shit like that, it'll drop down to like a 0 to like a 1. Really at a 0, it really don't even got no 1 there, but it's like she kind of walks away thinking to herself like, damn, he's not the type of guy that I like, or he has issues at home, or anything in that nature. And that's why I like to compare meeting women to like interviews at jobs. Like you can't go to an interview and say none of that type of shit at an interview. You can't. You gotta bring your best self to every interaction, and it's not like, oh, I'm putting on this performance for this woman. But it's kind of like just knowing, just under. It's called self awareness and communication skills. You know, like some shit you say, some shit you just don't say, and it helps you. Every time you mess up, you don't take it to heart. You just refine your game and then talk to a new chick, and then eventually you get to a point where you just know what you're not ever gonna say. Period. It ain't even much so about what you do say to women. Like you can say anything except for things you can't say. Like if you know what not to say, what are red zones in conversation, like don't go over there, you know what I'm saying? It's no different than neighborhoods. It's no different than countries and shit like that. Like you don't go over there. Don't go to this country because this country is traditionally that way. Same thing with conversation. Like you don't say, uh, certain things because it does not help your situation as far as communication because she don't even care about like a chick. This is why most guys get frustrated, right? Because a chick will walk away or leave you for some shit that you didn't even have to bring up. Some shit that she don't even care about. Like, but because you said it, what they call your perceived value has went down. Like, she don't even care that your dad was there. She don't even care that you grew up, you know, in this situation or that situation. But the fact that you cared to talk about it is just like making you look like a L man's. You know what I'm saying? Cause she like, damn, he don't even know. That also point to the fact that you don't got no bitches. Like, cause if you just met me and you talking to me about this, it make you look weird. But I haven't even gotten into the main point in this because there's only one person that just came in here and then they left. So we having little people peeking in. Uh, I've been wondering why my YouTube channel seem like it got like what's wrong with my shit? You know what I'm saying? Other people be having a lot of shit going on, but I hate comparing myself, but it's pretty hard not to when I see this consistently like this for me. I know it's other YouTubers who struggle with views. I don't go live every day, but that shit is fucking annoying. But anyway, let's get to this point, man. So, foreplay before foreplay. So everything I just said is in conjunction with that. But in the last 2 weeks to 4 weeks, maybe even 2 months, I've been really approaching a lot of chicks. And what I noticed is patterns, right? And these patterns, once again, they take on what I like to call like new shapes and different shapes, meaning like you really can't like just like eyeball it. Like, like people who like I don't like to use this analogy, but like people who sell weed and stuff, like they try to eyeball like the drug and then they try to do it and then give it to the client, but it's like the client smokes so much that they know that this isn't the right amount like I paid for. And that's what it is with dating with women. It's like you gotta understand a lot of guys they try to look up to what their cousins could do, or they try to look up to what their favorite dating coach could do, or the favorite YouTuber, and they see guys doing things, and then they think they could just eyeball it. Like, oh, I could take this line from this dating coach and then take it outside and then talk to this woman. And what tends to happen is disharmony. It's a word called disharmony. And I like to break words down. So if you look at that, it could be seen as distance, disease. You could look at dis is mean to go away from. Harm. You already know what harm is. Oni, harmony, or you could look at it money. Disharmony. You can look at it many different ways. This word when you break it down. But what I'm trying to say is you fucking yourself up in a major way at the end of the day, negatively. If you think that you can look at what another man is doing, now there's times in your life where you're able to copy and paste. I'm not gonna lie. They just life, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you see someone in school say some smooth shit, or maybe they have a smooth personality. You could steal some of their gestures. You could steal some of their lines, their pickup lines. Um, and then I see it on YouTube. Guys do it all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with it. But today I approached 15 women and I didn't use not one of anybody's anything. Well, somebody I got my approach is kind of patent from them, but outside of that, I pretty much go off script and just live in the moment and say whatever I want to say. Like I pretty much do that every day. So my ability to improv and think on the spot is kind of elevated every day. Like, cause I every day I do it, so I never have the fear of like all my life I've been doing that. So I never really have the fear of oh shit, she said blank or she said this or she said that. Maybe it's because I'm a light skinned nigga. I don't know why, but I trust that that chick is not gonna give me the boot if I say anything that is seemingly undervaluable. And the reason for that also is I grew up in the era where niggas like Lil Wayne, like you gotta realize a lot of the music niggas just said anything and it was always still thorough. Like and that's kind of the coming up under that culture. I used to freestyle a lot. I used to listen to these freestylers and just like basketball, a lot of things are free flowing. So naturally that's kind of how my psyche is patterned. Like I never had to work hard to get women. Like you know what I'm saying. Like that's just how my mind is. Like it's rooted in a way where I even if I got a couple canned lines, even the canned lines are underused. Like I'm not using them. Like I only use them when a woman says something that lines up with something I just like what happened? Something I said earlier. I think something I've been saying lately, something I created. Whenever a chick tell me her age, she do the whole guess my age. Oh no, I'm not that young. I'm 40 something. And I'm like, oh, we're like I might use the little Gavin Laurent shit, like oh 40 making them like that, blah blah blah. Get a little giggle, and then I'm gonna hit her with something I just created, which was the follow up of that, which is I said this about 3 times so far and it works every time. Like it pushes them over that edge. So I say something like, and once they laugh at the first joint, I hit them with a combo, and I'll be like, "Dang, you giving everybody something to look up, to look forward to." Like you, see what I'm saying? You giving everybody something to look forward to. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you 40, what I'm basically saying to her, that's a compliment. Because I'm basically saying is, all of us people that's what 30 and under, you giving us all something to look forward to. So I'm basically letting her know like, yo, you're beautiful. You feel me? Like you're not aging. You're aging backwards. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. Whatever it is, right? It's a witty way. It's a witty compliment. You know how I told y'all guys with game they give compliments the way guys with game give compliments. They don't give compliments like, "Oh, you're beautiful." They don't say things directly when it comes to compliments. It's implied. Or you giving everybody something to look forward to, huh? It's I'm implying that something that she already thinks. Like, oh, I know. A chick go home, she think, yeah, I know I look good, but she still want to hear it. But she don't want to hear you say she's beautiful because she heard that 70,000 times, 70,000, opposed to me saying, you giving everybody something to look forward to at that age. That's very flirty. You know, it's making her think also like what is he saying until the words actually roll off my out of my mouth. Like you feel me? While I'm saying that sentence, she's thinking, what is he saying? What is he saying? And then when it roll off, that was well received. So a woman is scanning how well received some shit is. But let me get back to the main point anyway. Because I ran into about 15 women today, and all of the interactions, like I said, they went in very unpredictable ways. But the only prediction I could predict was they're gonna say yes or no. They're gonna they're gonna swap the Instagram or no. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, foreplay before foreplay would be this product or whatever I'm calling it is built for guys who feel like damn I don't know what to do. I just met her. It's the first day. It's the first 24 hours of meeting this 8, 9, or 10. And like, I don't want to just foreplay her. I don't want to kiss on her neck. I don't want to like touch her inappropriately because it's too fast. Now, the reason you think that thought is because your intuition knows the law, nigga. You know that it's too early. So you're really not doing nothing flawed by thinking that. But it's gonna feel flawed because your nature wants to crush. So really, your nature is fighting with your natural. Well, not even say natural. Yeah, your norm. Like your norm is the policy of the United States. Like don't touch strangers, keep it. Handshake and hugs. But you know, pretty much you don't even hug a beautiful chick. If you ain't confident, you ain't even gonna do that. But that's why I tell you I talk to 15 a day because there's nothing wrong with hugging. A chick you just met at the end of the day. You have to lead women because the problem with leading is these women don't understand certain shit. So you have to be a leader. But what I'm saying is my foreplay before foreplay triangle that I've just crafted and created earlier. Like I said, it's built for foreplay before foreplay. So naturally, the sequence will go like this: I walk up to a chick, I approach her, I excuse myself, and then I let her know, she caught my eye, or she looked good, whatever the case. And then that's making it man to woman is stating my intentions, and right there off the bat, it's so 1, 2, 3, like it's so quick, like that's like what under like 5 seconds of me talking to her, she's already seeing like damn he's a potential penis like that I could swallow like, but like here's the thing, what I'm saying, here's the thing, and this is what I'm trying to let y'all see in this video is that she's just as fast as she sees you as sexy is as fast as she can see you as sexless, like just as fast as she can see you as sexy is as fast as she can see you as sexless, like so just as fast as you could turn her on or make her think about it is just as fast as you that shit could just be dormant or die off like. And most guys they won't never realize this, but like, well, even if they do realize it, it's not about realizing it, it's about the action to make sure that don't be happening. So foreplay before foreplay is actually for me bread and butter because most guys see foreplay the way I built my product foreplay like will, which is a product patented around a bunch of ways to touch and kiss and do all this crazy stuff, right? But here's the thing: although you can do all those things and create the perfect physiology for a female who wants to get crushed, she still might have what they call LMR, last minute resistance. Reason why that ever even possibly take place is because you have no game. That's really true. Like I know people say that a lot online, and I'm seeing it in real life. Like I'm diagnosing it and dissecting it with my own pen. You know what I'm saying? I really go outside. I be kissing chicks in the field. Like you feel me? I be doing all type of shit, and I can see patterns as far as kissing is foreplay, making out is foreplay, um, kissing on the neck foreplay. Even just having your hands on her waist foreplay. Um, but see, like I said, here's the sequence from that me first approaching her and saying, "Excuse me, da da da, Will, blah 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 blah," being real courteous, very suave and nice, or whatever you want to call it. That's just to open up the can of worms or a conversation, whatever which way it ends up being. But she's asking herself subconsciously, like, okay, what is he gonna be and how is he gonna lead? Is he really a man or is he gonna be a chump? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like black and white, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. And One major way to make sure you are a chump is for you to lose your self um, respect in the interaction. And that's why I tell guys to end interactions first. Don't let a woman end it. You end it, because that's one way to let her know that he has no self control. He has no around me, such as a pretty chick or a chick that he thinks is pretty or whatever. He can't properly lead. Now, there's certain things that'll let a woman know that early. Like I said, ending the conversation first will let her see that I don't give a fuck how fat your ass is and how cute you is. You are just a woman, and you're gonna be in that box around me. And if she talks to you like a friend, if she talks to you like her dad, like, well, she should talk to you like her dad, but you know what I mean. Like if she talked to you like someone she met before, or like some familiar shit, that's disrespectful, because she's disrespecting the fact that you're unique, you're different. You know, you are different. So there can only be one masculine and one feminine in each interaction. So you have to master first before any of this stuff I'm about to tell y'all. Y'all have to master like just basics of like what you want stand for in the conversation, and it'll be acted out subconsciously and also consciously with this information I'm giving y'all. So I'm gonna break down the triangle now. The foreplay before foreplay. What is the foreplay before foreplay? So at the top, well, it don't matter which order, but we got emotional foreplay, we got environmental foreplay, right? And then we got mental foreplay. Now, say like that example I was just giving out, right? Say I go to Starbucks or I go to Stop and Shop, and I meet a chick in the produce aisle, and I introduce myself, right? So there's no foreplay happening right now. The only foreplay that's happening is it's all mental foreplay right now. There's no physical foreplay, and there's really no foreplay. Like it's the transition point between the approach and keynote. So foreplay is from keynote to foreplay. So that's one, two, and three. So approaching is just me. That's more like laughing, conversation, my voice tone, eye contact. That's more of those basic surface level things. But those surface level things could do a lot for you, but it's obviously not the other things. So say she's fucking with you, she's giving you her number, she's telling you you're cute, whatever. Say shit going smooth, right? That's phase one. But then you have the emotional foreplay. I mean, you have the keynote, escalation, keynote, physical touch. So you should do a couple physical touches from the moment you meet her, but it should be slow building up. So during conversation, not only are you flirting and teasing, maybe a little story tell, maybe a little couple gambits, like um, I don't want to say nothing corny, but these guys be saying stuff like in the PUA stuff that who flirts, who cheats more, men or women. Like I'm not saying that's corny, but that's not it's actually not to me corny. Actually, it's a way to get her emotionally engaged. It's a way to trigger her a little bit, get her a little bit thinking about like, damn, like I don't know, that's interesting. But when I say corny, what I mean is it could feel platonic. But that's the thing, right? When you're having fun, it's supposed to feel platonic. I think it's a thin line between platonic and platonic. Platonic. You know, the guy that she would never smash is platonic. The guy that she would smash is platonic. He's platonic, but they say you got to be friends before lovers. I really still believe that old fashioned shit, because the chicks that was my friends before we smashed, it was more. Let's just say it was fated. It was fated that they wasn't going nowhere because they knew this nigga cool as fuck. So in order to have that type of chemistry, right? Because we live in a world where I gotta break everything down because this shit really getting crazy out here. It's chemistry that makes you highly attractive. Your sexual marketplace value is chemistry. As a man, it's not your looks. It's chemistry. It's not your watch. It's not your social. Well, social circle game could play a little role, but like It's more so like your status and shit, but all of this shit is built around the same things, and all of it is mental foreplay. So mental foreplay is the first one. So let me put a one next to the. It's mental, and then it's emotional, and then it's environmental foreplay. So let me make these make more sense for y'all. So as I approach a chick, say I approach her in front of Dollar General, and we're out front. Because this is really a likely thing that could happen, or any place. Like, but say we're out front in a public place. You approach her. This is how you see things escalate very fast between two strangers, and then next thing you know, they're like hugging, or like there's this intimate vibe in the air, and you're like, wait, these niggas just met. I mean, this nigga got way more game than me. Because if I just met her, I don't know if I. Or you could say you go to a club or a party. These same type of outcomes will happen fast, because it's all about the vibe and the mood that a person is in, just depending on what type of results is gonna happen. So like, most guys fail because they only could get away with doing that shit at the club or places where women are naturally promiscuous, but they can't make a 40-year-old mom do that shit when she's just going to get eggs and milk. The difference isn't that she's 40 or anything. The difference is you're making it different in your mind, because you don't know about foreplay before foreplay. Foreplay before foreplay is after Kino escalation, and it's before the real foreplay. And like I said, you got mental, which is already happening once you open your mouth. Because once you open your mouth, you gotta look at the factors of mental foreplay. It's everything. It's the way you're dressed. It's your the way you talk. It's your being. It's your being. It's really hard to not. But what I'm saying also for mental foreplay is the shit that you say to her. So the shit that you say, such as flirting and teasing and shit, and saying things. I wrote it down. I wish I would have wrote it down on paper. That's why I said I hit the button when I started this shit. I should have waited to do this video, but um, basically mentally you want to paint a picture as if it's just you and her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Say I'm somewhere, but I say things that make her feel seen. That's a form of foreplay. Then you got number two, the emotional one, which is making her feel. And they talk about this in PUA. Talking as if it's a connection between us, like a connection that makes her feel connected. That's a form of foreplay, emotional foreplay. That's phase two. Phase three is environmental foreplay. So how can I use the environment to also as a form of foreplay? Maybe I stand behind her and I whisper something in her ear. Creating rituals, foreplay rituals, meaning like things that feel um I can't explain, like things that make her think about you. Like, so if I stand behind her, every time I stand behind her I whisper in her ear. That means no matter where we go, I'm ritualistically doing that over and over again. So it's becoming anchored in her, to always feel turned on. To always feel turned on about that shit. Like, no matter who's watching, no matter how many cars is flying by, this move right here makes she connects this with Will. He's the only nigga that stand behind me and whisper in my ear. That's environmental um, foreplay. Now these three foreplays you can utilize after you done a little bit of Kino escalation. You could get away with all this on the first approach, because your goal is to traverse from your approach to a little bit of Kino to emotional foreplay, like to foreplay before foreplay, which is emotional, mental, and environmental, to real foreplay, which again, this is where it's like where the pen go? This is where the magic happens, because this is where she likes you more than you like her? Or should I say she's more invested? Either way I put it, her more invested than you. Because most guys, they don't know that that's the goal, right? Because remember, you're the leader. So, like, the leader is always the one that's doing less, but the leader is always showing strength somehow or some way. And that's what I'm trying to say. So, like, by you invoking those feelings inside of her, and she's turned on at this point, because remember, you did enough to turn her on. You didn't just sit there and just talk her ear off all day. You got physical. You did kino, physical touch. You know, you basically jumped between kino back to flirting, a little bit of teasing. You probably threw some other shit in there, and then you went back over to this, and you slowly worked all these things into all of these things are baked. They're baked into the interaction, meaning they feel quite organic, which makes her feel like, this guy has a way of doing things that don't feel forced, which makes you even more attractive, because she's like, I can't let this nigga go, because if I do, he's gonna be over here or over there, and he's gonna be with another chick, and I'm gonna lose out. I'm gonna miss out. So there becomes an urgency, because you're doing foreplay before foreplay. This is gonna end up being my favorite product, because you can do this anytime. Most people just do kino escalation, whatever, cool. But you want to do that to get to the foreplay. But you can't get to the foreplay without the bridge, which will be foreplay before foreplay. Because what if we're not in the bedroom? Most people associate foreplay with, like, real foreplay with, and I do this too subconsciously. I connect me kissing a chick on the neck and all that stuff and fingering her with being like in a closed area. Even if we're outside, but we're in like a closed area. That's what where foreplay before foreplay comes in, because it's universal. You could do this shit in front of the clerk at this store over here. They gonna think y'all know each other. They gonna think y'all been together. People walking around, they don't know how long you knew her. And that's another thing I had to realize. Like, I mean, I approached a chick today that was at the cash register. Like, I go directly up to them, because I don't give people in the environment no chance of stopping what I'm doing. And they're not gonna stop it regardless. But sometimes, if you move slow, motherfuckers will stop it. If depending on if they wanted to, or if it's a chick that you might have approached in the past, and she see you talking to one of the the people who shopping. So you gotta move. You gotta flow. You gotta flow through these stores and these places. Don't because anyway, the goal is to get her to like you more than you like her, or to invest in you more than you invest in her. And you doing foreplay on a chick that you just met 5 to 10 minutes ago is, I'm not even gonna say it's the smartest thing in the world, because you want to preserve some of that for when y'all get on the text message and on the phone and shit, because the whole name of the game, and this is number 4, I'm gonna write it down, is to make her value your time. This is what it's all about at the end of the day. We could spin this shit many different ways, but as a true player, as a true P, I don't give a fuck how we spin it. The game is about her seeing, like, okay, when he call me, when he text me, or when he want to link up, I got to get on that, because I don't want him to feel like I'm not worth his time. And it all makes sense, and it all comes together, because if when he first met me, he physically touched me. He didn't just verbally talk like some fucking scarecrow or some shit. He talked as a catalyst to touch. Then he touched as a catalyst to talk. They talked as a catalyst to touch again. But the touches became deeper and deeper and more infused into my soul. So by the time he left, I missed his touch and I just met him. How is that possible? How is it possible that I just met him at 5 o'clock and yet I kind of missed this nigga? That's not even weird, fellas. I'm gonna tell you why it's not weird. Cause it sound kind of weird, but it's not. Every beautiful chick y'all cross paths with on the street, y'all miss them too. Cause if y'all cross paths with a 10 on the street and she gave you some attention and then she just poof left, you gonna be like, damn. You gonna in the back of your mind that whole rest of the day, you gonna be like, damn. If she wanted to chill with you, wanted to call you, wanted to link with you, do anything physical, you gonna jump on that opportunity. But y'all don't realize there's guys who could flip that shit around, like where women feel that way about them. Like, damn, like I miss this nigga. Cause the jokes, the humor, the confidence, the ego. You gotta have some ego. At least 25% to 50. You gotta have some ego. You gotta have some confidence. You gotta have some. This is why I love gambits. Like this is why I love out of all the stuff in the PUA community. I love gambits because um, you could create them and they could be funny and very like quick witted and sharp and they could come out of nowhere. They could feel very spontaneous. Like I got one gambit inside my phone that's about Jolly Ranchers. Like, cause in high school I used to have this teacher, this white woman that used to give us Jolly Ranchers, and I like the purple one, the blue one, and the green one. I like them all actually, the red one. But this gambit was geared towards like a joke about Jolly Ranchers, and it was like girls are like Jolly Ranchers, blah 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 blah. Some are green. Everybody likes blue, but purple is like that. What I say, that sibling that no that doesn't get any attention, but it's still something like that. But I'm comparing Jolly, and then you ask her at the end of that, like, what was your favorite Jolly Rancher? Blah, blah, blah. But you see how you could take something so mundane and light a fire to it where people feel like it's cool to actually answer the shit, and that's what attractive people do. They don't just always do the cliche thing like wearing a tuxedo and getting a haircut. They can have on a V-neck and a fitted, a snapback, but it's his conversation that's making her say, "Damn, something about this nigga. He a little different. He a little twisted. He a little crazy." And like I said, whether no matter what you wearing, yeah, you want to take care of your beard and shit, line up and lightning strips and shit, keep yourself together. But that's only the face of the other stuff, the substance. When she takes a bite out of the apple, she want to taste the juices in the apple. Like, damn, this is really refreshing. This is really good. And I want to fuck him now. I don't want to wait till next week. I don't want to wait till next month. And then we'll do more videos or more maybe Patreon. We'll talk more about like positions to put her in and all that stuff. Pretzel her ass up. Put her in the figure four leg lock and shit. Put her in the crippler crossface and shit. You know, you want a frog splash off the top ropes and shit. But that's all, like I said, game like will. That's game. That's stuff that, you do. Another thing I want to say, certain chicks I talk to be sending me photos and shit. Photos is very significant. Let her know it's a level of investment that, okay, some chicks do it because maybe they like to send them, and then other chicks you might have to ask. But if you ask, I got a couple ways in my Gmail that I put in there that I could invoke her to send some. Right? It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. I'm not begging nobody to do nothing, but I will open up that can of worms to get her to send them photos. Because and it's not body photos either, by the way. That comes a little bit with time in my opinion. But again, Just depends on our level of connection. A lot of things. That's why game is hard to explain because it's just about principles and what you don't do, and then knowing what to focus on and what to do. And then it's like once you edit and audit what you're doing, you'll start to see women do shit without you asking them. Like they do shit without you asking, so you don't gotta ask nothing. You just gotta um, shine a light on it that you like the fact that they did it. Like, oh, I told this chick the other day. I said I really like when you send me photos randomly. You know what I'm saying? And that made her to flow with more photos. But another chick, I had to ask her once, and then before I set up the date, I asked her again, and then I finally got a photo. But I didn't do it corny. Like I didn't be like, "Yo, where my photo?" I did it more like smooth. Like, yeah, you know, you still gotta give me, you still owe me that photo, right? But yeah, I'm still trying to do this, do that, and I kept it in one motion, so it didn't feel like like pulling teeth. So anyway, all of the foreplay shit we talked about in this video doesn't matter. Shout out to 2 views. All of the foreplay shit we talked about in this video, it doesn't matter because you're not gonna lay a red finger on a chick that don't like you. Because game like will community is not about GL Dub community is not about laying your tips of your finger on anybody in public or in your town or in your city that does not want to be touched by you. So you will never do that. At the end of the day, if you're opening a conversation, you go for the handshake. Even that's a lot, but I'm just saying in terms of in terms of physical touch. But if she shakes your hand, that's showing you a form of willingness, what she's willing to do. It's showing a form of willingness. Now, it's not meant for you to, oh, let me prey on this weakness. She shook my hand. It's for you to continue to talk, conversate, because at the end of the day, her level of interest could be anywhere. Just because a chick give you her number, just because a chick sleep with you, or whatever. Sleeping with you is kind of like medium to high interest, like at the end of the day. But what I'm saying is like a chick could still be somewhat lowly interested, as far as again you didn't hit it right or you didn't do. Anytime a man does something wrong, they're not right. He's always in jeopardy, like because there's always a guy that would have perfected what you didn't do. It's billions of people on the planet. Women will go to another woman just to get a job done. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Oh, you know how to eat punani better than guys, and you know how women feel because you're a woman. You know how we want to feel." I seen women run game on other women. I seen dykes have game. They got game because they're more in tune with their intuition. They're more in tune with the feminine nature, so they know how to basically treat a chick on some crazy shit. But that's the thing. Men have an intuition too. We have a intuitive nature too. That's why a lot of niggas, when they stay in the house all day and play games, they're really doling down the part of them that is more intuitive. That would also like, because again, that's why I feel like approaching 15 women a day has actually changed my character, my life. Back to like my old, when I was like younger, I used to be outside all the time. Like it changed my character because being in the house changed it the other way. Like, you know, it made it to where I'm not in tune. Like I'm not thinking about what other people might be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really in tune like that. But like when you're around and you seeing, oh damn, this mean that, that mean this. It's just a different communication to the mind. Like so, it's like I don't need someone to walk me through what to say to a woman every line. You know what I'm saying? I could hear her voice tone. I could hear how she said that. And again, all of this shit is just foreplay. It's all about perspective too. Like, if you got a perspective that's weird, then it don't matter what she said. You're gonna take it to heart, and you're gonna think she rejecting you. If you got a perspective that's rooted in confidence, it ain't gonna matter what she say negative. You're gonna still move in a way that is hard for her to really rattle. You know, like if I just get done, if I just get done listening to other coaches on YouTube spit game, and then I go talk to a chick, I'm in a state of game. I'm in a state. I'm in that energy right now. I'm already feeling like I'm that nigga, just cause I'm listening to niggas who think they that nigga too. But if you just get done arguing with your mom and then you go talk to a chick, you know how that's going. You're gonna feel totally off balance. All of your trauma gonna be activated. You're gonna be like, damn, all women are this way. And then when that chick you talking to do anything that look like some shit, you know, your family would have did, it damn. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna connect. But that don't mean see one thing about it though, when you got game and experience, you gonna be able to be good regardless. That's why I preach the shit I preach because no matter your circumstances or where you come from, your height, your family dynamic, whatever, you could always come out on top because you just that good. You just that good of a player. You know what I'm saying? It's like playing a video game. You that good at the game. It don't matter where you at. It don't matter what you doing. You gonna always be able to tap into that. You know, like a barber doesn't lose his craft. He don't lose his skill. He could go to China and still cut hair. You know, Allen Iverson could play on any court and still cross you over. You know what I'm saying? That's a good player. If your environment ruins your ability to do what you're doing, then you just need to lock in and go harder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it. Or you need to figure out the environment and figure out how to be in that environment because sometimes in life you can't change your environment. You can't change shit for a duration of months or years. So you have to cope with what you got and figure out how to like me with this room. Like I'd rather have all the gadgets and the better cameras and all this, but I figured out how to vlog off of my phone and I figured out how to settle with the bare minimum. You know, I approached a chick today. She talked about how my phone was cracked. Yeah, my phone been through a war, and I'm the general. You know what I'm saying? I put it to use. We got battle scars. You know, me and my phone, and we gotta make. You know, getting your number is the objective. You know. Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, everything is connected. So when you learn game, you just learn that. You don't learn nothing special. You learn that everything's connected. Even the way you put your words together, the way you make something a metaphor. Like I said, oh, my phone cracked. It's because me and my phone been through some wars, and I'm a general. You know, and my phone got as many scars as whatever, whatever. I mean, there's many ways you could flip that shit. Like my phone got you know what my the you say something like you know what the cracks on my phone represent. I mean, I don't want to say that. That's kind of corny. But you know, when you say anything fast and in the moment, it sounds good, so it wouldn't even matter. But anyway, foreplay before foreplay, you want basically want to think about these things, and you want to touch a chick that in a way that is not totally sexual, but also in a way that is not totally platonic or totally just like hand on her lower back when she walked through a door. You know, not nothing like that because like I said, those things actually work. But just because you put your hand on her lower back when she walked through a door, she may think like that felt weird. I don't want him to touch me no more. I'm not gonna text him after that. If you just met her. So there you have it. You have the fact that it's a slow buildup. And when you look at the measurement of time, you don't do certain things when it don't feel in the right time period, the right season. It's like seasoning, seasoning salt. Like you don't, it's flavor. You gotta know flavor. Time and flavor is kind of one. Like, I'm not gonna do some shit. Like, I'm not gonna wait to do some shit either. Like, I see stories about niggas who, like, I know a story about somebody who plays the friend zone, but then tries to get punani. You can't play the friend zone and try to get punani because that's not what is not. It's just not the move. I'm not saying it will never work because hey, friends with benefits do work. If you a nigga like me that got game, or you and somebody else on YouTube that got game, friends with benefits is a high possibility. You know, it has a high possibility of working. I'm about to smoke this vape a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm supposed to be on my healthy shit, but I'm tripping. But I got this the other day for $5. This another a weapon that could get you. Not saying that you use, not saying tricking wise, but like a lot of chicks smoke vapes. So like when I don't smoke cigars and I don't smoke no cigarettes or nothing. But like this is something that I ask women sometimes. Say I got the vape in my pocket. I'm like, yo, you smoke vape? Blah blah blah. Just for subtle conversation. I was talking to a chick downtown a couple days ago, and I asked her, "Do you smoke vape?" And she said, "I got mine right here." And she said, "I gotta charge it." I'm like, "Yo, you right? I forgot you got all these shit got the little charger shit on it." But anyway, all of that conversation, and then I'm just trying to give y'all the headspace or the state of mind that I'm in when I'm having these conversations. Usually is like you're either gonna do two things as a man. You're gonna waste time talking, and it's gonna end up being a waste of breath, which is gonna make her not like you anyway, because you're gonna blend in with losers and all the weird niggas, like subconsciously for her, because she might even fucked with you like, oh, nah, he was cool as fuck, but like that's all you did was be cool as fuck because you didn't escalate not a damn thing. And remember, in previous and past videos, I used to say you got physical escalation, emotional escalation, and location escalation. And just think about that with this, right? Foreplay before foreplay. If you want a location escalate, what you should do, even if y'all just met on the first time talking, you see what I'm saying? Like the chick I was downtown with, she was about to get on the city bus, and I was about to escalate her to the car that I was in at the time because she was saying she did YouTube too and this and that, whatever. We was about to go pop up. We was about to do a little video real quick, and that would have been live for y'all. That would have been thorough. But what I'm saying is, she was really down to do that until she looked at the phone. City bus is coming in 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, we ain't gonna make it because we gonna get locked in. We gonna be doing a video. But I told her like, yo, you probably could make it because the buses sit there a little bit, but still, like, nah. I was parked right at the corner. But what I'm saying is, y'all gotta understand that that's location escalation. LE. You got the escalation, like an escalator. Yo, things escalate. But when they escalate, what do you do in that phase of escalating? If something escalates and you notice that it's escalating, because what I would even say is when a woman shows emotion, you should physically escalate. So what I mean by that, like say see a chick randomly on the street and I say something funny and she starts to laugh. That's my moment to Kino, touch her arm. Nah, you crazy. You know da 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 da. You crazy, girl. Da da da. So I just did that little thing right there, and now I touched her once, but like, okay, cool. That's not really nothing major. It's nothing crazy, but it is getting her familiar with my taps, my taps. Because at the end of the day, one tap, two tap, three tap. I kind of like when he touches me because it doesn't no longer feel strange because I'm not a stranger like that. How do you go from stranger to, you know, desired? You know what I'm saying? Matter of 5 minutes. It's not all conversation. Of course, a lot of it is, and a lot of it is just your demeanor and the way your voice sound. What's goody? We got some real ones popping up in this mug. What's good, Z? How you feeling today? I'm definitely kicking some game for y'all, man. Y'all gotta run this mug back, bro. I ain't been live in a minute, bro. So it's like I'm happy to see you in here, bro. It's been people popping in, popping out, and it, we this ain't gonna be one of my most viewed things, but it's gonna be some, some views has came in here. But I was just talking this game. I created something called Foreplay before Foreplay, and that shit is just y'all gotta run the video back. Like I said, I'm telling y'all, there's no way I could repeat all of that, you know, because I gave y'all some real life examples from my infields that I don't even record the ones that like I record a lot, but like some of them, like the ones that I be feeling like be the most impactful, like the ones y'all will really connect with. Like this chick I just met earlier, like in front of the hair store, like she like 40 something, but she really was, you know, going. Not saying like that, but like that. Like you know what I'm saying? Let's see. Feeling good. Got a high interest date tomorrow. Ooh, okay. That's good shit, bro. Keep it up. So you've been approaching them, or how did this come along? That's good shit, bro. High interest date tomorrow. And that's another thing. I don't feel like guys have to text women back and forth all day. Like I text very, I don't want to say inconsistently, because when I text, it be meaning. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what makes my text not so bad, because I've learned to do this over time. Like when I text, it's always gonna be connected to the topic that we talking about. So like if she's talking about like, but it's gonna always be purposeful. So like bro said, if I have we're gonna have a date set up or some type of link. There's always gonna be that. So that's the main thing. So that's the driver. So it's never really boring because we're always on, like But as far as the conversation bleeding over into like personal things, like she said, oh, I got kids to take care of, or I got this, or anything that inconveniences. See, a guy with game is not scared of inconvenience because there's no such thing, because I'm just gonna talk to another bitch regardless. So it does, or I already today talked to 15. So like, therefore, a player has no inconveniences. There's no, it doesn't, it not. When I first heard other coaches say that, I just went with it. I took that idealism on, but I didn't really understand it because I wasn't talking to 15 women a day. But there's really no such thing as an issue to a player, because a player plays for the love of the game. And every day, if I'm approaching 15, that means in 2 days, I'm approaching 30 women. Not just 30, 30 all of the time. So 30, 30, and 30, and 30, and 10. You know what I'm saying? Like to say, like break down a week, like, I mean, 15. To break down like a whole week or whatever. I told her to remind me to give her my number. I told her to remind me to give her my number. How? What you mean? I told her to remind me to give her my number. Is this at school? Is this? I know it's summer, so like, how's this? Where you meet her at? Like, what's the ramifications? And sometimes, man, one reason why a lot of guys fail with women is because they're not consistent. You know how I just said um that's been a major thing in my life as far as that, because there's some women that's really high interested, then there's some women that's medium. I would When I first started, a lot of women would okay, so you was outside, and you were just vibing and just doing you. Was it corner store vibes? Was it grocery store vibes? Was it, you know, let's get into a little bit of the what I call it, um Damn, what do I call that shit? Not economical. What's the word I be using? Geo. Let's look at the geography a little bit. How was the geography when this you seen this woman? Did you see her? Did she see you? Was it grocery store? Okay, okay. So you went to the grocery store. Hopefully you was really buying something. Now me, I do the videos, but like in reality, okay, yeah, Geo game definitely. Shout out to my guy, put me, definitely Geo, right? So like, see, like I'm gonna give you an example real quick. Like today, I was in the crib, I wasn't doing nothing, just basically just chilling and being lazy. And I literally went on my synonym app to look at words because I always do journaling and shit. And sometimes I just look at words, and whatever word comes to my spirit, I just type it in to get like different forms of that word. So I typed in the word lazy, or it was like lethargic, or some one of the words like that, sloth, or some shit. And I looked at all the synonyms, and one of these words that I heard someone in my family or someone around use before, I'm like, yo, this is a cool word. I'm gonna start saying this more often. So I'll be kind of working on my vocab, but also finding things that really connect with like my life. And I'm like, yo, why does it seem like more like most men are really lazy nowadays, slothful? And I'm basically taking my eyeballs and I'm looking at how women talk about men nowadays. They're like, yo, these niggas don't want to get jobs, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I kind of see that characteristic in my real. So I'm doing like shadow work without really writing down. I'm just kind of thinking, like, yo, that's kind of is like I kind of am doing that right now. And so it was like 4 p.m. and I got up. I'm like, all right, man, let me go outside. And got on my scooter, went down the street, and just kind of just like scavengered or voyaged the shit out. You know what I mean? And just kind of just sometimes you got to be in nature and just let your intuition, man intuition, your masculine intuition, kind of just guide you. Because every day it used to be days where I used to have to ask myself which direction do I want to, but I've been all around my neighborhoods to the point where I really don't need to ask that. I just kind of need to ask myself, what is on the schedule? Do I need to go shopping, like you said? Do I need to get some food? Do I want to go here, there? Do I want to visit a park? Something I might have typed in on Google Maps? Or is it a place that I used to go to that I haven't been to in a minute? A restaurant, a place, So I kind of just intuitively move. And since my Instagram got deleted, um, I made a new one, and it looks better anyway because the follower to following ratio is way closer now. And so we just gonna run it up that way. And so, like I said, bro, you never lose because as long as you're infield, and as long as you're having a purpose behind talking. See, this is the thing for me because I used to be like, yo, like I had so many thoughts in my mind, like, yo, guys should just get money. We should be focused on women like that. Even when I started this channel, people will come in here, yo, bro, why you only talk about women? It's like, nigga, man, nigga, I can't talk about women. You want me to talk about men or some shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I had to ignore those meatheads who say shit like that, who don't really get any bitches. Because a guy who get women would never do that. And I had to tell myself that. I'm like, yo, a guy that got women ain't in here talking to me about that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all's are wise enough to know the blind be trying to lead the blind and shit. So I just ignore people like that. And like I said, man, like my conversation has really grown. And I think that, sometimes a man is only as good as his conversation. A lot of my conversations be very spontaneous. And I enjoy those ones over the ones that I um set up. Like yeah, I still enjoy going on dates. I still enjoy linking up. Like there's a couple chicks in my DM right now that we definitely about to link up. We definitely about to get together. But that's here nor there because I just approached about what probably like 10 earlier. To be honest, 10, not 15, but 10, and got a lot of Instagrams. Like by the time I got in the crib, it was like 5 new joints, and including two numbers or a number that I had to text. And messages I haven't responded to that I had to respond to. But ultimately, the vetting process, Zelly, the vetting process. Can you speak to us a little bit, Zelly, about the vetting process? Like, what's your thoughts on the vetting process? Because let's not just go on a date and just laugh and giggle. Because I was just talking about that before you got in here. That's why I say I got to run it back because I was just talking about how a man must be so sharp and just gamed up that he just doesn't, he got to understand that there's nothing wrong with being yourself. There's nothing wrong with metaphorically letting your hair down and chilling and letting a female into your reality. But there's something really wrong with it because she's a woman and she's only to be around you with you giving her direction or telling her or you're never okay. So in the PUA community, we all know there's something called a frame, and certain coaches they um, vilify this word. Certain other coaches they say that shit is really important. I'm somewhere in the middle, but I really do believe that that shit is highly important because I got nieces and nephews, and I even seen like with certain family members, if you let your image go to shits, it will. I mean, it could be your family, it could be just like you say your neighborhood, it could be anybody. And over talking to a female, like being on a date and then starting to share deep things, like I was just saying earlier, traumas. Most people only know trauma. Every song you hear is trauma. Little Baby, even though he's very popular and everyone from the hood loves Little Baby, listen to one of the songs, you're gonna get nothing but a diary of trauma, not drama. Because I think Little Baby is pretty positive, a positive person as far as as far as we can see. But as far as 98% of his music, it's no different than what we heard with Tupac or anybody, even Jay Z. These guys talk money, streets, and da 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 da. So when we get in front of these women, right? The problem that a lot of young, especially black men have, but just people in general, is this thing called positive spirited. It's easy to be positive when you're hanging out with your friends. But when you're in front of these women, how do you stand and be always in a state of, like I used to say in my old videos, joy. You want to always bring joy. If it's any other emotion, like get the graph of the emotions. Go to Google, type in graph of emotions, the circle of all the emotions. If it's not a positive one you're in when you're talking to these women, then she's gonna smell pussy in the air. I'm telling you, because women all day they talk to each other, they gossip, they try to figure out and pick men's brains, and especially black women. No offense, but they do, they really do. They try to figure out why men are how they are. But even like I tell my mom sometimes when we talk about relationships, sometimes every once in a blue moon, I tell her like, man, listen, like I wasn't supposed to be like this. I was raised by you and my sister. I was set up to be feminine, but somehow genetics or something, I'm just not that. I've always had, still been very much a guy. I don't like other guys haven't, but I'm saying like in terms of masculinity is a very it's a mystery. It's a folklore. It's a myth. A truly masculine man when you see it, and I'm not saying I'm the most masculine at all. I'm just saying that if you hang around truly masculine men, the one thing femininity and masculinity on both sides of the scale has in common is that you can't figure it out just by looking or seeing it. Like you have to actually be around it and you have to pick it. You have to figure out not the masculinity as it looks, but the fucking things that's working behind the masculine. It's like a car. If I was from another planet and I just seen a car for the first time, or even a spaceship or whatever, I'd be like, damn, like that's beautiful. I wonder how that became that. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman sees a masculine man or she's attracted to you, right? It's your job to protect your mystique. That's all I'm trying to say. It's your job. It's not something that people's just be transparent. Tell her that you grew up this way and this is like that. you'd be a damn fool. You know what I'm saying? Cause I caught myself trying to do that earlier to a chick, like low key, like, cause she was a good listener, so it invoked me to keep talking. But I noticed, like, man, listen, when you really gamed up, you just say what's necessary. It's like a job interview, like, you just say what's necessary. It ain't even nothing personal. It's just like, man, listen, you know, I didn't come here for therapy. I didn't come here to, and I did that on one date. I went on like probably like 3 months ago or 2 months, like 3 months ago, and with that particular chick, it's not that it sizzled out because we still talked after that. We texted a lot and we even planned to go on a date number two. And I don't know how guys feel about date one and date two. They think like you should just be beating them cheeks up immediately, which I agree with. You don't even have to go on a date at all to do it. But with that specific girl, I was going to do that. And I just think that sometimes, bro, less is more, but then sometimes more is more. You know what I'm saying? In terms of measurements and in games, sometimes more is really more. Sometimes, as a man, you have to be able to scan a environment or a specific person and say, well, right now I'm going to say more because I want to say more. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you say, I'm going to say less because I feel like this person is medium to low interest. Or you're like, I'm not gonna say more or less. I'm just gonna say some fly shit that's gonna change the trajectory. And that's where game is really located at. Because whether you say less or more, it's not really the actual ingredient. Like most people, they focus on the recipe but not the ingredient. And that's what I said about the masculinity. It's not necessarily about force or overdoing anything, and it's not about underdoing anything. Like niggas try to play relaxed in front of a chick. Like I did that in the past. Like, oh, women like niggas who are this way that just don't sweat them. How many times we heard that shit? Like niggas should have all the game in the world. If that was the answer, by age 30, you should have all the game in the world. If the answer was to relax and lay back, then every nigga should have the blueprint. But that's clearly not the only thing. That's one of the things. And that's not even something you try to do. That's something that comes out of approaching 15 women a day. Like me approaching 15 women a day, I just can't be thirsty. Like a chick tell me I'm not interested, I said, oh, all right. And I'll take my little scooter, I'll turn it the other way. No matter how awkward I feel, it will never embarrass me because you just I don't even so some chicks I just approach because you're standing near me. I don't even want you. So like if just like this chick I approached earlier said she wasn't interested, I'm like in the back of my head I'm like I'm really not interested in you either. Like, but I'm not gonna get mad and tell you some shit like that or make it because at the end of the day like I don't expect you to be interested because there's reasons why certain women I don't expect them to be interested. Like the more you approach women, you start to see that there's different types of women and certain ones are not attracted to the type of guy you are and it's not even true that they're not attracted. They don't know you, they're not even giving you the chance. That's what it really is. And so a lot of time it's just not even really the real rejection, but it is real rejection at the same time. So it's just like you just gotta accept it. But I'm telling y'all boys, man, knowing the type of woman that's in front of you gives you so much leverage. It gives you so much leverage because, like, let me use race for example. I know this is a very like horrible thing for me to do. Like, I'm such a villain right now. But like, as a young black man, you know, white women. I've seen like I haven't never really dated any white women. Like, I had some liking me in middle school and shit. I think I even had some liking me at Job Corps, but like I never really locked in with them. Like I've always been a black woman type of guy. Like black chicks always have marinated in my life, like resonated in my shit, like invaded my shit, like, you know. And I don't really look at skin color too frequently. Like, I do like black women though, to the point where it's like it just is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I do like that ratchet shit sometimes anyway. But like, I don't and I do. Like, I don't like it, but I do like it type shit. It's like Chinese chicken wings. Like, I like them when I like it type shit. Like, it's home. You know, at the end of the day, like we grew up on that shit. So like, I think it's more mental. If you don't have a lot of experiences with white women, you're naturally not going to feel like they are drawn to you. Because a lot of guys, especially if you're coming from an urban territory, like a nigga like YG or even like probably like Little Wayne's and niggas like that, like that's why like Mr. Lucario situation different because April damn near black, like you know what I'm saying? Like in my mind at least, like there's certain white women that's black, like they could fit in just about anywhere. And that's why even with us as men learning game is the same thing. We learn to adapt and meet new cultures. And like when I was younger, I used to have a lot of Spanish friends, you know what I'm saying? I had a lot of Spanish friends, Dominican, Puerto Rican. And lately I've been kind of tapping back in with meeting more Spanish people, and it's been actually very like fun and just like I mean, I was talking to this chick earlier. She's from Kenya, and she was telling me like, "Wow, you seem like you've lived like 20 different lives." Because I was telling her about my shit. Like I said, she was getting me to talk, and like it's like my life was that way. I lived a very adventurous, boxed-in life. Like I haven't been all over the world, but in the little New Yorks and North Carolinas or wherever I went, the New Hampshires, I've actually had a traverse of experiences. Like being a kid, I was like not a model, but on damn near as a kid. Going to New York, I was about to do the voice of a cartoon thing. I don't even talk about these experiences, you know, like. But when you're expressing yourself, it'll make people think like, yo, this motherfucker did this, he did that, he did that. It just sound like a lot of shit. But over the course of 30 years, that's not it's nothing at all. But you gotta know how to communicate, man. That's the biggest lesson in this video. Because that's the beginning of like it's verbal and then it's like the foreplay, you know, and I mean the keynote, the physical touch, and then it's the other stuff, man. Like it's just like my boy Zelly said he met a chick in a grocery store, man. That's a big place that you want to always stop in, you know. I stop wherever it is that I see a chick, like, or I'm just naturally just outside. Like when you're on a scooter, you're basically in the street and the sidewalk, and it's kind of like you got access to go any. Like when I'm in the car, sometimes it feel more difficult. So I learned to like whenever I'm in the car, kind of park the car and just kind of park it in a popular kind of populated spot. You know, it could be like, especially if you're downtown or somewhere, it could be kind of like in the cut. You just gotta make, I don't know, you just gotta make the shit make sense. Like, you gotta kind of move around, see. Like, I met a couple chicks downtown. Like I said the other day, it was a cool vibe. You know, what I mean, these chicks and shit, and you know, they all not gonna end up always. And I'll tell ya, they don't. You gotta realize like these women are strangers, bro. Like they strangers until proven to be strangers until proven to be rangers of this dick. So it's like until you realize that that's what they are. Like there's certain chicks I just like. Certain chicks just look sneaky too. Like So it's like sometimes you just naturally like, damn, this bitch looks sneaky, or like, and you just don't really, just off of that alone, they could get cut. You know what I'm saying? Just off of that alone, you know. So with this shit, you want to find a chick that or chicks that don't look sneaky. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's impossible, but sometimes you gotta have game and know, because a chick could look sneaky and then she's not sneaky. So, but like it's just like I said, man. I met a chick yesterday. I mean, I met mad chicks. That's what I'm saying. I met a chick yesterday, 7-Eleven. Her ass was too fat, man. I ain't gonna hold you. And she had the fucking um, meta glasses on. So when I went to approach her and I went to take my phone out, she said, "You about to record me?" I said, "Damn, how you know?" I just kept it a buck. Like, how you know? Then she said, "I got the glasses right here." And then she pressed the button. I'm like, damn. So she really was on some content creator shit. But I had to respect it at that point because I'm like, man, I don't put so many chicks on the camera without their permission at this point that I just gotta just accept it. Like, but I'm about to stop doing that as much because I'm gonna start doing more like just regular permissible shit, like regular content. Like I feel like the infield shit is cool. Um, the approach videos, I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do more of them, but it's just gonna be like the other shit too. You know what I'm saying? Some gym shit, maybe too. Some workout shit. Some more lifestyle improvement shit. Couple chicks I know that I met lately is gonna definitely want to get on the camera and do their thing, talk their shit. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like I said though, if you're not physically touching them, that's what it's all about, man. You could talk all day. You could verbalize till you blue in the face, man. And that's the thing that guys gotta understand, man. It's not about how you. It's not about talking. It's about walking. Like even with YouTube, it's like some shit is better just shown. Like I could talk all day, motherfuckers lose credibility. Damn, I don't think he know what he talking about, cause it's a bunch of talk. But when you show actions, like I was about to put a chick. I really wish that I would have said it earlier, and we would have. I would have showed y'all the chick yesterday. She was some straight cute shit though, like straight fine shit though. Like when she said she lived in my town, so it's like I don't know what's going on with it right now. And she said she do content, so now we gotta get together. But you'll start to realize that a lot of chicks do content. Like there's not really any chicks that don't do it because everybody got an Instagram. So even though the only chicks that don't touch content or is not gonna touch my content or another guy's content is chicks that is basically not trying to be seen. They just trying to get crushed. So in their mind, they gonna be on some shit like, man, they gonna say some shit like I'm camera shy. They gonna make the excuse. And she 40 and she just trying to get crushed. 50 trying to get 45 trying to get crushed. I'm not even gonna bring that shit up because damn, she way older. She probably not trying. But a chick that's 20 to 25, man, they 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 definitely want to get on camera. definitely try and get crushed. So it's like, and then like last but not least, I guess I'm gonna say this last but not least is like location escalation, which I spoke on probably like 20 minutes ago. But you basically want to think to yourself like this. Like I said, in the midst of the approach or the banter, you really want to think to yourself like, what's the easiest way not to crush, but like yeah, like I know that's gonna linger in the back of y'all. That's gonna come into your mind as a thought, but like you really don't want to adhere to that thought. You really want to think like, what's the path of least resistance in terms of like creating a bond with her that feels not even feels organic, but is organic. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to. It's organic, an organic vibe that is not cultivated necessarily, but yeah, kind of created. Because a lot of guys who are coming from less experience, because even I had, or even still have less experience. Like I tell you, I don't even kiss a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I really didn't do that shit a lot. Like, but I like doing that shit. Like you don't know what you like because you're not in the bedroom a lot. You know, a lot of y'all guys, y'all don't even know. Like a lot of y'all probably gonna end up getting your ass ate. You know, I ain't never did that, but I'm just saying, guys is into that nowadays. So like, you see that shit in porn and shit. So like, I'm just saying, like, you don't know because you're not even finding chicks that's bad enough to where if she just did that randomly, you like, oh shit, I kind of fuck with that. And you still stuck in your childhood mind right now, so you like, damn, like, you think you wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? But you're a grown ass man, so if you liked it, who could tell you? You know what I mean? So I just say that to say like experience is king on the chessboard. It's really king. So you know, the more approaches y'all do, the more reference points and more experiences. Shout out to 5 views. We getting a little traction in this motherfucker. Y'all hit that like button, man. Game like motherfucking will, man. Yeah, we was kicking real game. Y'all gotta go back and watch the video though. But at the end of the day, your relation to her is just a form of like the synonym for the word relation to me is respect. At the end of the day, every relationship. Thank you for the likes. Every relationship is built on respect. Whether we like it, hate it, love it, whatever it is, it's respect. So how can you not forge her to respect you or force her to respect? Well, kind of even that too though. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you look at traditional history, like respect is everything to the point where motherfucker die about it. So it's like when I say that, I'm saying like, but because guys are lazy in life and docile, I wish I heard the video I made earlier. Everything would be connecting right now. But because guys are lazy and docile, they don't have any heart. So they won't even force a chick to respect them or into submission. So like that's why in Chicago you see a lot of guys put their hands on women. But the women don't be snitching. Not because it's not wrong, but more so because the women is just as under like it's kind of like subcommunicated like it's like pimps also. I'm not saying I'm a pimp. I'm just saying like it's common sense. Like some niggas is more willful in certain behaviors and attitudes than others. And not only that, but the women will like that guy even after that action. A relationship is all about respect. So I mean like if a chick and a man comes together, this is my whole questions about relationships, like the question marks over my head. Like I genuinely believe if you meet someone, y'all meet for a reason. I genuinely do. And even if you cut that person off or you force that shit to stop or you don't deal with that person, I don't give a fuck. You and that person are meeting right now, and it's your duty as a human on earth to ask yourself, What's the scientific reason behind this fucking, like, okay, you approach 15 women a day. That's the reason. That's the driver. But what's her? Where's she from? She has a tattoo that on her arm. The chick I met earlier, a tattoo. She lived down the street from me. Her shit say it's a Kenya a tattoo of Kenya. Oh, so you from Kenya? Yeah, I'm from Kenya. But your name is Steph. Oh, damn. Saying her name and shit. My bad. My bad. But they don't know. Y'all don't know her, so it wouldn't matter. But just the ramifications of her, the makeup of her, the 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 infill structure of her. Why her? What is it that brought you to this point today? And I stopped you. We ran into each other. See, a big part of my game is also being a hopeless romantic. I'm from the 90s, the 95s. I grew up watching a lot of movies. Well, not a lot, but music maybe impacted me in this area, TV. Um, but I'm no fool, you know what I'm saying? Because I study game, a lot of me is severing those strongholds away. Because you can't be a player and stuck in 1995 and we're living in 2025. You know, because at the end of the day, I say that because who you think you are or who your mind has been settled for or settled upon, the thoughts and the realities of 95 and the early 2000s, all of the music, the Chris Browns, the Trey songs, the this, the that, these guys, yes, they are the guys that women still would crush. But at the same time, a lot of their music and a lot of the meanings and the subtle subtext behind what they're saying, they're setting you up for failure in terms of what a woman is actually going to really like. Like, I mean, double texting a woman, chasing a woman, trying to be next to a woman was cute when you were 13. Where you're 29, 30, those things are still kind of hot to a woman. Like you, and what's hot about it is they like guys that are a little bit in crazy, like a little bit delusional, and they like guys that are willful, and they like guys that are on their ass. But in terms of you doing that actual shit, like you gotta realize that the world is shifted. See, and that's what I'll be looking at a lot of the times these days. In order for me to know how I'm gonna play the game, like I'm not chasing no bitch. Like I don't give a fuck who you is, where you come from, what country, what type of makeup you wearing today. Ah, damn, I had to crack my neck. I don't care nothing about you, just to be honest. And because at the end of the day, here's the thing, fellas. It's like you don't have to be a king to take on the attributes of a king. And and how do you think you become a king? You know what I'm saying? You could become a king by living to a standard for a certain duration of time. Because nothing's overnight. You elevate in life through consistency. Just like with this YouTube channel. Like I don't just talk about anything I want. Now, when I want to, yeah, but like for the most part, I understood to become a real YouTuber or to become somebody that people really rely on. You generally want to find a topic that you really want to talk about, because other than that, you're gonna get bored. You're gonna only do it when you feel like doing it. Like right now, I'm thinking about ending the video in a couple minutes, but who knows? Because if someone else comments, someone else comment. I mean, it's barbershop talk at that point, and not only is it barbershop talk, but it's actually something that I got answers for niggas. Like it ain't nothing like nigga can't ask me that I'm not gonna know. Especially me being infield, and especially me putting my best foot forward. Nigga can't challenge me and be like, yo, you ain't been approaching 15 with me. I ain't gonna argue with you because I know. I just got in the house a couple hours ago. I came in the house to eat and chill and whatever, but I sometimes my scooter charged up. I take my ass back outside in the nighttime. You go see the night crawlers. You know what I'm saying? Because all these women, sometimes they are lazy and they've been in the house sleeping and chilling, and some of them got kids and shit. So a lot of the women y'all don't run into. If you only go outside one time in a day, you're not running into the plethora. You can go to the beach, you go to the mall, you still not running into the plethora. You run into the plethora when you make time to do this shit once or twice or three times. If you got a car, you know, it's a you would think that having a car is better than having a scooter, but I don't think so, especially in the summer. Only reason it's better because you gotta charge this shit. That's the only thing. Like if I get a gas scooter, it's GG's. It's game over if I get a gas scooter because the scooter is like you're still outside. Like it's like you're on foot, but you're on a motor at the same time. When you're in a car, you gotta let the window down, and the chick gonna think you trying to traffic her ass or some shit. So it's like you can't really always win unless you know. It just depends. Some women will pop out like, "Oh, how you doing?" You know. But I'm just saying, it's all about your energy too. But sometimes that car shit is played out. You know, people the car shit ain't. When I go downtown, it's a bunch of scooters just like mine. That's people put money and ride it around. After they come out of the parties, they ride them around. People be doing that shit all night. I mean, all day really. I like scooters. I like motorcycles. I don't really like motorcycles and all that other shit. To be honest, I like them, but I ain't really crazy about them. I like scooters though, like electric. I like electric bikes. I like shit like that. Shit that you could go from this town to that town in a matter of 5 minutes, 4 minutes, and you could just be, you know, you could basically be a witch on a broom with this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could go from here to there, and it's like people just gotta watch you. Just understand that you a man on a mission at that point. You know, I'm somewhat of a free spirit, so I don't know really know what that means, but you know, what I mean when I say that is someone who likes to be free. I don't like to be, but like I said earlier, lethargic and slothful. Sometimes it feels good to get extra rest and lay around because that's that's a form of healing and health and holistic shit. But sometimes you laying there and the problem is you haven't journaled, so internally you don't feel awoke, and all the cells in your body is still dormant, so you don't really want to move. So lately I'll be laying around and I'll grab my fucking dumbbell 12 pound and do these shits or do some type of workout, get a good pump in, and then I'm ready to get outside. Like it'll just happen in that order. Like you know what I'm saying? Because then it's like, all right, you ready to go outside. So it's not always about brush your teeth, wash your face. You know what I'm saying? Niggas still be tired after they do that shit. It's about work your muscles and get ready to get your ass outside, and then you just in a better state when you lift. You know. So again, man, like ain't nothing wrong with going on dates. I think dates is beautiful. Keep going on dates, everybody. But at the same time, you know, when you really approaching a lot of women, you gonna start seeing that like, damn, these bitches just trying to fuck. Like, ain't even really, you know. I pushed that date shit for a year, for like a year clean. Just you know, dates is really cool, especially like for me. I still do the picnic thing. I tell women like, hey, like, what's your favorite fruit? I always ask that either on the first approach or through text message. At some point, I asked them like, "Yo, what's your favorite fruit?" Or they say a lot of women love pineapple for some reason. I don't. That's the one fruit I just don't touch when I go to the store, because it don't got no seeds in it. So I'm like, yo, this shit definitely man-made. But it would make sense that most women would attract to the one thing that is man-made out of all the other things. Like all the things with seeds and shit that is, you know, I mean, they like the seedless shit for some reason. They like seedless grapes. Like one time I asked a chick, "What you like better, seeded grapes or seedless?" Like I like seedless, and she was white. Like I don't know if that means anything, but like to me it did. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I kind of like the seedless green ones too. Um, but you gotta realize, man, like you are what you eat. You know what I'm saying? So like all this organic, inorganic shit you see on the planet. Thank you for the likes. all this inorganic shit we see on the planet, we gotta really break it down. Like, what are you putting in your body? You know what I mean? Like, and I be feeling uncomfortable meeting a chick on the first date and then telling her like, damn, like why you like pineapples? Why you like grapes? There's no seeds in that. Because it's just like I don't know why I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm gonna lose the bitch if I say that shit. I don't know why I think they gonna judge me. They gonna think I'm judging them, and then they gonna get to judging my ass. Man, you ain't no better. You eating this shit too. You know, but in reality, it's like, nah, baby. Farmers market got seeded watermelon. You know, at the end of the day, it's all. I'm not planting it. I'm not farming it. But at the end of the day, come on, baby girl, you better than that. It ain't saying you can't eat the seedless fruit now. You just gotta understand what you doing. So if we have a kid and that motherfucker come out with some fucking disorderly conducts, you gotta understand we was eating all this seedless inorganic shit. You know what I'm saying? In reality, we supposed to be farming our own shit. We supposed to be growing shit. But like if you approach a chick on the street and she's 19, if she's 21, you know, even 25, 30, the average chick ain't got nothing planted. She haven't even thought in that manner. Some have, but I'm just saying across like, and that's why I tell y'all boys like really go out there and talk to 15 because in reality, this shit is basically like playing fucking. This shit is like playing cards or like you know the hand that you're dealt. Every time you approach a new chick, it's a different thing. It's a gamble. So you really gotta actually have game because you wanna also, and this is another thing niggas don't get. You don't just wanna have to depend on like a woman. So like with this shit, so you wanna be able to talk and then tell a woman what to do. Like you wanna influence a woman's life. That's what I'm basically trying to say. Like the shit I just said about the seated shit. That's not even bad. That's just me being aware of consequences to certain behaviors and me pushing that. Not up on her, but like letting her know that hey, you know, kick cut. Mm. But I'm a hypocrite with the vape. But I always tell a woman because I told a chick earlier. I was like, I'm a cheating ass vegan. She started laughing. I said, yeah, I cheat a lot. I was like, I cheat all the fucking time. Yeah, but I make it a joke because you know if you don't make it a joke, they gonna really think you're a fucking hypocrite. Because here you are, you know, you eat Peruvian food, chicken and rice, beans, steak when you want to, but then you telling me not to eat some seedless grapes? Who do you think you are? I can't eat pineapple? Who do you think you are? Listen, y'all women gotta stop trying to tell us that dumb shit about who we think we are because I'll tell you, I'm made in enlightenment like God. That's what that Kanye meme, that nigga Kanye said. He said, I just told you who I am. I'm God. He said, I just told you who I think I am. I'm God. Like, do I gotta say that shit again? Like, and unfortunately, these women they don't see you as God. They see you as you know less than. So a lot of the time, that's why a lot of niggas. That's why the high interest, medium interest, low interest thing is so brilliant because it's like I'm not even talking to a chick that's medium interested in me. Like I was just telling somebody that earlier. Like if you medium interested in me, I'm not dealing with you because I'm approaching 15 women a day. In 2 days, that's 30 women. So if some are not going to text or respond, or some are not going to even, they're going to follow me. And then when I try to follow them, they're not going to let me follow them. That's a percentage. Another percentage is going to follow me, but then not respond. That's another percent of that 30. Then another percentage is going to at least say hey or hi or what's up. Another percentage is going to be trying to get crushed. So out of that broken down percentage, I've learned to not shed any attention to what is not working in my life or not operating accordingly or appropriately. Because even if I only walk away with two of those women, I got probably 15 to 30 followers out of those 2 days on my Instagram. So that's cool. Mm, take it or leave it. Because in reality, I'm unfollowing whoever doesn't respond to my DMs. Just to let y'all guys know my how GameLike will operates his operation. I'm unfollowing because I don't even want to see a chick that think that she's not that thing. I don't want the evil eye on my shit. Like, I don't even want you to, because y'all women believe in the evil eye. But I'm using it as a joke, but I'm serious too. Like, I don't even want you to look at my shit. If you think that I'm a fuck nigga or a fuck boy, like, don't even look at my shit. In fact, you can look at my shit, but I'm not gonna look at you. Because I don't want my attention to say, oh, look at this chick who think that she can't get crushed. Like, you can get crushed. You just standing on a pedestal in your mind that you can't get crushed. So then I don't even want to see you, because I noticed when I first started approaching more chicks, what would happen was I would give attention to what wasn't working accidentally. So like I would let certain women linger on my media with the women that was actually showing me some attention, and that'll make me, it'll still overpower what was working somehow. And then you'll realize like a 2-3 days went by. Damn, I forgot to text the chick that's really giving me that, you know what I'm saying? That respect. So so your mind is gonna find a pathway to go and focus on what, the negative shit. And so when you unfollow a chick, that gives you leeway to where you're like, oh, okay, I'm just paying attention to what's working. That's what women do. As soon as they realize they don't like you, they don't think about you. That they got that tangible, they got that characteristic. I don't know how, but they got it. But I do know how, because you approach her 9 times out of 10, and she could get dick anytime she want. That's the only reason why they could do that. But guys, we have to actually do some heavy lifting and actually go talk to you, actually have courage. We have to actually be honorable niggas and actually stand on the fact that I said, when I see a bitch I want, I'm gonna talk to her. So we gotta go do that. So we feel more like, damn, it's an investment here real quick. Like, even though I only met her for five seconds, whatever, it's a little investment. But see, like I said, when y'all approach 15 women a day, it don't feel that way no more. It don't feel like an investment at all. In fact, it feels like a game. And that's why I'm game like Will. It feels like a game. It feels like there's no way I could be rejected, because I respect myself for doing what I told myself I'm gonna do. So in my mind, I'm on a pedestal, like just like the bitch is on a pedestal in her mind. Like I get to walk away knowing I'm a man because I followed through on what I said I was gonna do, and she walks away knowing she's a woman because she gets to say like, okay, I'm being choosy about my shit. Like, I'm choosing the best guy I feel like I could get. That's her rite of passage. You know what I'm saying? That's her right. That's her God given right to not fuck with me. You feel me? So a lot of y'all that's scared to approach women, that's actually the wrong mindset, because those the guys who gonna end up being too attached and too needy. See, I'm the type of nigga, I could make a chick that thinks she don't like me end up liking me, because she gonna be like, this nigga is so detached from, he's not dependent. She gonna see man qualities at some point, even if at first she's like, oh, I don't know about this nigga, blah blah blah. She gonna still, if she keep following me on Instagram, she gonna be like, damn, this nigga still doing his thing. He's still minding his business. He's still approaching women. He's still, if she keep any tabs on my life, she gonna be like, damn, this nigga not focused on me at all. Like, and then when you're really building yourself and working on yourself, they notice whether they like it or not. That's a personal problem. But they see it, they respect it. And remember what I said, every relationship is built off of respect. So a lot of women, again, it's not that they will never sleep with you. It's just that they don't think they will. So they'll go with that intuition, that like it's their intuitive thing. Like I'm not gonna do it. Just like me, like oh, I'm not gonna smoke vapes no more. I'm not gonna eat a double cheeseburger no more. I'm a vegan. But I'm full of shit unless I'm really sold on that idea. Most people they'll never be sold on it. What they their ideas. At the end of the day, it's just the way the world works. It's just life. So it's like I don't personally care to mess with a chick that didn't fuck with me in the first place. I just like the fact that she's doubling back. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a Leo. I like attention. So maybe that's what it is, but I don't really care to mess with a chick. Like, yeah, I might smash, I might, indulge in some. But in reality, it's like, damn, you treat me like I wasn't, just based on the stipulation, the situation, you know what I'm saying? That lets you know also, fellas, if you ever go back to broke or zero or wherever, no women around you or not, no type of, that bitch gonna be the first one to just, she's only along for the ride, you feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with that sometimes, but like I said, you gotta treat people how they deserve, not how um, you want to be treated. That's another myth buster. If I treat everybody how I want to be treated, everybody gonna get king's treatment. Everybody gonna get treated good. You know what I'm saying? But if I treat everybody how they act, as far as you treated me like I wasn't gonna do shit with myself, or you treated me like I wasn't attractive. Maybe I wasn't attractive at the time, but you showed no sympathy, which is cool. Like you feel me? But it's just like I'll be a damn sucker to really, 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 really act like I got the bandwidth, to smush you in here with these chicks that came in that acting like that. You know what I'm saying? They came in with respect. They came in with vision. You know, not every woman has vision, and that's another thing I want to chime in on real fast because we're gonna get out of here in about probably 10 to 15 minutes. A lot of women have vision, and I had this thought probably years ago, like last year, and I got it as I became more of a dating coach and became more intuitive with my own, like, I guess you could say emotions. I guess I don't know, but it's like a feeling that it came to me like a thought. Like, damn, these women have vision. That's why they kick ass when it comes to dating. Men have vision too, but most men's vision is ruled by either school or sports or like something that's too tangible, like too physical. Like we're not really spiritual a lot of times, so we don't got. Only time we have vision is in our dreams, and we don't even really look at the dream as a sign. Like women look at the dream because the women have vision. Like that's why a woman could look at a nigga and see his trajectory right there. That's why if you getting rejected, you get rejected all the time. But as soon as you get bitches, they see a different thing, and it's like I'm telling you, it's like vision is powerful, and when you understand that women have vision, that's when you say to yourself like, yo, like a chick that comes in and doesn't like you, you can't be mad at her because remember she got vision, so she's looking. But a chick that comes in and she sees future shit, see the contrast or the bad in her having vision is that could make her take on the masculine role as far as you start to look to her for guidance because a woman could easily slip into that position. Like she could easily, like a snake, just slip into and slither into being the leader because they have vision. Vision is deeper than experience, in my opinion, because experience. See, only way a man can conquer a woman is through his experience, because experience will give you some vision, and it'll also give you some experience will also give you, as a man especially, you want to be hands on. Because when I meet women, especially older women, it's like chess. Like you got to be a worthy opponent, or they're not going to see you as worth any type of sexual nothing. They're not even they're going to see you as like their son or some shit. So you gotta have hands-on experience because the problem is that they already coming in doubting, especially if they black. They coming in doubting that you are a worthy opponent at all, and then they're coming in and they're thinking like, damn, this nigga just want to fuck me, which is even crazier because remember they have vision and they have experience. So you gotta have something in terms of like that's why most guys can't do it because they have nothing. They don't have no experiences. They don't have no hands on. Then they're not fucking no bitches today. And so they're not doing nothing that shows that older woman, 40-year-old, whatever, that this nigga is, he gets it. Because I'm telling you, like, there's certain older chicks I don't even text back every day. And they still find a way to, like, I don't know if it's just their personality of that specific chick or if it's, like, the age. But, like, I'm just giving an example. Like, women have vision. And what you want to do is you want to use their vision as your matter, as your thing, because as a man, like, and that's what I think a lot of guys don't be doing. They try to either suffocate her vision by yelling at her and telling her to be more feminine, or they try to like, again, let her like dictate shit, and then they try to play like the back scene, and they end up losing their masculine edge in that she is, you gotta let a chick shine. And this was something I learned. I'm 29. I learned this. Just type of person I am anyway. I'm not really the type to control anybody. I'm a Leo, and I can be jealous in terms of like a nigga flirting with my bitch. But outside of that, I'm not really controlling to the point where if she has gifts. Now, again, a guy, in my opinion, should always look at this because you're vetting her, right? So like the problem is most niggas gonna vet out of scarcity. They're gonna vet out of fear. What do I don't want? They're gonna vet to see like what is it that I don't want her to do or have. But you want to vet also like just looking at the ramifications of like and this is what I was trying to say. As a man, I've also learned for myself. I need to grow my vision because vision could be grown, like cultivated, like seeds and plants, like water, seeds, and plants. Like you want to cultivate vision. This is more spiritual, in my opinion, spiritual talk, but it's like third eye shit, and journaling, and measurements of outcomes and shit like that. Because at the end of the day, it's like I said, a woman can always lead a man for some odd reason, especially in the culture we living in. And one big thing that I seen for me, just being a dating and relationship coach, I got an advantage because it's like a woman can't lead me anywhere because I'm just gonna look at like I had a chick the other day. She tried to tell me like, "Oh, we're gonna go out. I'm gonna pay for the dinner." No, she said we could go out to this place, and I'm like, "Oh, you gonna pay?" Because my situation is like this. And she was like, and mind you, I was kind of trying to mac the chick, but I really at the same time I'm like, remember I approached 15. I'm like, it really doesn't matter. Like, but if a chick continues to talk and the conversation goes deep and then we become cool to a degree, I'm not gonna suffocate that either. But at the same time, I might because as I grow, and like I said, as my vision grows, I've just learned like don't have no lingering females unless it's like the chick really cool and shit, but like at the same time, like a chick gotta be trying to like once again she gotta get on the vlogs or do something. And this chick was saying like, yeah, I'll get on the camera and shit when I get comfortable and shit. But when my Instagram got deleted, it all fucked up. I know where she work and I seen her, at McDonald's the other day, but I just don't really. I ain't say nothing to her. Like what I'm saying. I ain't care to. I went in there to charge my bike. I didn't really care to. But I say all that to say, women are their own entities, their own genders. And you want to be a perfectionist when it comes to talking to them, realizing that they all come in different. Yes, they're women, so they all live by them same codes and shit. But at the same time, it's like they you don't want to count them out. And I think that's what a lot of guys do. They count women out they assume like, oh, like, you know, whatever, or she gonna always be there, and these things that guys tend to think. It's easy to believe and easy to fall into your ego. And but you do want to think in an ego, like I said, you do want to think in an egoistic way, egoist way, because you want a woman who respects that you have an ego. And most guys, they don't think like that. Like, say if a chick asks me, what do you look for in a chick? Like, you could say that off the bat to her. Like, I want a chick that respects my ego. The reason why that'd be powerful is because most guys lie and say they don't. They come in like other dating coaches say that as a nice guy. And when you come in as a quote unquote nice guy, you're basically sub communicating to her that I'm willing to not use my ego in these battles or these natural conflicts that humans have. But that'll just be egging her on to think that you're somebody who will let her punch you in the face and you won't do nothing in return. You don't want to do that because she's never gonna sleep with you and she's gonna see you as a fake, just a bitch ass nigga. So it's just better that you come in letting her know that you have spikes like a porcupine. You know, I have spikes. Like, whether you woman or not, I have spikes. Like, yeah, like I fight guys, but at the same time with you, you could get hemmed up, and that's not even, you know, me saying anything crazy, but that's just me saying like I'm a guy. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's communicating. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like that's another thing two guys gotta realize. Like, at the end of the day, man, these women, man, you gotta understand them all the way through, holistically. You can't just want to fuck them, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I think I'm gonna end on this note, and I'm gonna carry it over into the next joint because we're on 2% right now, and that's some informative game right there. I'm definitely gonna get back on that topic because a lot of guys let women play fair tactics on them, and that's never gonna work, man. It's never gonna, never gonna work. So we're gonna talk more about that. Shout out to Zelly. Shout out to everybody who came here. Like, comment, subscribe. Work on your foreplay before foreplay. I call it FBF, foreplay before foreplay. And man, you're gonna bridge that gap where you can say less and do more, and just be more spontaneous and be more dynamic with your attraction. And more women are gonna see the value in that type of guy over the guy that just talk all day and just don't perform. You're gonna get 10 times more ass doing that shit. So see you on the next video. GameLike, where I'm out, man. See ya. More foreplay tips coming, and more and videos coming soon. Way more foreplay, way more. And you get on the Patreon if you really want to really get tapped in. Like the video, comment, subscribe. It's your boy GameLike Will. See you on the next video. Somebody just came in here. We on 2%, so we about to dip. But get on Patreon, subscribe, lock in. I'm out. See ya.